right, viewer, welcome to another video. Um, Today I want to talk a bit about talent and optimizing your life. And these thoughts were kind of awakened because I recently watched the Michael Jackson movie and I enjoyed it. I know some people have mixed emotions about it, but I enjoyed it, and it sent me on a little bit of a MJ marathon. If you know, I started watching a bunch of his performances, is listening to some of his music, and when you observe somebody that great, when you see somebody doing what they love to that level, the word of a lot of people's mouth is talented and gifted, and that's true. And this video is for to not at all say that talent and somebody just being God gifted is not real. There are some people who are just that. But I wanted to also point to the fact that sometimes we over focus on another person's talent, and we over focus on the talent of the greats, and we under focus on our own talent and our own abilities, because a lot of us sometimes we wait for talent, and we disqualify ourselves because we don't feel like we're talented. But one of the things that is very interesting to me that stood out to me, like when I in my life, sometimes there were a lot of things that I wanted to do. Just to name a few, work on my physique, be better at my music abilities that I had, try to write more, make videos, and I got to a point in my life where I started asking myself, what is stopping me from doing what I wanted? One of the things that often came up was time, talent. There are so many people better than me, blah blah blah. And I'm sure you've heard it from a video I've made, or somebody has said this, like, it's life is not about being the best, being the strongest, being the biggest. It's about being your best, your strongest, your biggest. And one of the things I had to pillars I had to throw down off my list of why I couldn't do things was time. I realized I had time. And I also realized how some of the greats that I looked up to optimized their time. While Michael Jackson was seen as one of the greatest entertainers, greatest dancers, greatest singers, whatever you want to, whatever title you want to put on him, it was people around him also always reported he was always working. It was never good enough for him. He was still working on his dance moves. If after performance and he was interviewed, like, how do you think it went, he was still thinking he could have done this better, he could have done that better. In fact, one of his iconic performances was like the first time he did the Billie Jean performance. I think some reporters saying that was one of his worst performances. He didn't like that one at all. Now, observing him, we loved it. Observing him, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But like, to him, he could always do better. And that is the mindset of a lot of greats, a lot of great athletes too. They are some of the great athletes, even after getting their flowers of being one of the greats, they are always the one who will take less vacations. They are always the one who won't go to the club as much. They would go into the gym, go into the on the field, and just practice something over and over and over again. Um, LeBron James at this point does not have to do anything else to be considered great, but still takes his body seriously, still has probably eats better than some of the younger players around, still lives a healthy lifestyle than them. He doesn't have to. He's freaking LeBron James already. Just like Michael Jackson, he didn't have to keep improving. At a certain point, he didn't have to do anything, but yet he still held himself to that standard. And one of the things that I applied to my life was that I said, what standard am I holding myself to, and how am I going to optimize my life? And one of the main things, and maybe you could take this from this video, I had to kill was this illusion that I had no time. The truth is, when I looked into my life, I made time to do a lot of things that didn't matter. And I'm not saying recreation isn't important. I'm not saying scrolling is bad, playing video games, all these kind of things. But when they're used as just time killers, and you have dreams, you have things that you say you want to do, that's when they become a problem. That's when it's not about how talented you are. It's just that you don't optimize what you have. You just don't optimize the time that you've been given. And when I started, interestingly enough, once I started to put like an hour into playing guitar every day, I put an hour into doing my little painting, like as you can see, like the little canvas paintings that I do every little day, try to put a little bit into making videos. It was funny how now I start getting the allegations that I was multi-talented. I started being looked at somebody who was just so talented, and I was, and and it really started when I just started to optimize my life. When I started to go to the gym consistently, it started the rumors of great genetics was thrust on me. Interestingly enough, things that I thought I didn't have, all of these things what I just mentioned, they were things I thought I didn't have before I started to just put the time into these things. And so this video is just a reminder. It's okay to observe a great person and just say, man, this person's so gifted, which they are. They are. Some people are just gifted out there. But also don't under focus on the time they put in to also refine those gifts that they have. And that is the greatest bliss you'll find in this life, is to put the time into the areas that you've been blessed. Put the time into the area that you even if you have like an instinct to go towards it. If you're a person, you may not have the greatest physique, but you just have this instinct to work on that. The greatest bliss you will get is to get to a point where people are accusing you of taking steroids. They're accusing you of, oh man, yes, you were just born with great genetics, weren't you? You know, that's a beautiful feeling, I could say. I will say it's a great, beautiful feeling. Even if you're a person that you're shy, but you've always wanted to speak in front of people, the greatest bliss for you would be one day getting up on a stage and somebody just asking you, hey man, how are you so confident? Like, how are you so like one of the greatest communicators I ever heard? You must have been naturally talented or something. And life is not about talent helps, but more and more as I live, and more and more as I study great people, when I unpeel the myth of them just being this talented guru, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sacrifice. And the question is, how much are you willing to sacrifice? It's hard because in a system like where we live, where you work a certain amount of hours, you go to school to a certain amount of hours, by the time you're done with all that, your mental energies are kind of drained. You don't really want to do much, but hey, if you have loose 3 hours, if you have a loose hour, if you have a loose 30 minutes, your true happiness and your true contentment in life is going to be dependent on how you spend those little free moments that you have. It's whether you're going to take it and just kill it and just scroll, play video games, do something that doesn't really matter, or if you're going to invest it into your physique, you're going to invest it into the novel you want to write, you're going to invest it in, if there's a video you want to create it, you're going to invest in a musical thing. If you have a piano at home, you just want to go on it and play some keys and learn how to get better. So that's how I really start to look at it, and that's what I was kind of shown to me in the MJ movie when I was watching it. It was like how much time he put into just it wasn't always so easy for him. Like, it took time building these songs, getting it together, and so yeah, just understand that a lot of the greats don't under focus on how hard they worked, and find more satisfaction in optimizing your life, not wanting to be more talented, is what I'm trying to say in this video. So let me know what do you think about the MJ movie though. Some people say it was trash, some people say it was amazing. I thought it was really good, but I'd love to hear your opinion of it. So let me know.